What's up everyone, Wesley Malott here with another episode of Gear Review. Today we're taking a look at the Comica or Comica, not really sure how to pronounce it, CVM-WS50. Let's take a look. The CVM-WS50 is a wireless lavalier microphone system built specifically for your smartphone. In the box we get a nice carrying case to store the microphone and accessories. Inside the case we have the lav mic, a transmitter, a receiver, and a tripod handle to attach the receiver to. You can attach the receiver directly to the tripod handle, and then the receiver has a built-in smartphone microphone holder on the back, so it makes transporting this setup super easy. Alright, so here we have the Comica smartphone wireless, and over here we are running the Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun microphone, and also a Rode Wireless Go running into the Zoom F4, and we're going to basically see how the smartphone wireless by Comica compares to both the shotgun microphone and the Rode wireless. That way we can get kind of an idea of how the smartphone wireless mic stacks up against professional level microphones. So for this specific test, we are sitting kind of near these air conditioners, so we're going to see how each microphone kind of deals with all of this ambient noise. So I'm going to open up some of my favorite literature and read to you guys while switching between every mic. Excerpt number 1. She said nothing then, her lovely mouth otherwise engaged, until he came, all over her face. She had gagged and moved him outside her lips, rubbing his spurting glands across her cheeks and chin. He had wanted to cry out, sitting up as if jolted by electricity as he spurts, the deep throbs out. This is too much. This is way too much. Her face gleamed with his jism in the spotty light of the motel room. There on the far end of East Beach, within sound of the sea, the rhythmic, relentless shushing returned to their ears. She laid her head on the pillow and seemed to want to be kissed. Well, why not? It was his jism. Having got rid of it, there was an aftermath of sorrow in which he needed to be alone. But there was no getting rid of her. Call me Suki, she said. Having read his mind, I sucked your... You sure did. Thanks. Wow. His mouth lathered with her sap. He turned around and embraced her face with all the passion of his own lips and face, ready at last to grind into her with the hound, drive it into her vanity. Oh, this is ridiculous. Now we're going to test how it sounds if I turn each direction. So this is me talking in a different direction. This is to the right. You'll probably hear the difference in the shotgun microphone. I don't know about the lavs. This is me speaking to the left. You will probably hear a significant difference in the shotgun because my voice is projecting that way. I don't know about the lavs. So yes, testing, 1, 2. And this is me facing forward again. We will probably hear the best sound in the shotgun microphone, but that's just my opinion. He retained a memory of her bare pink vulva. It was as though Father Christmas had popped up in their midst. He forced his way inside her, determined to accomplish what he had come for. I gotta say, this is probably one of the more ridiculous ideas I've had with trying to incorporate humor into these videos. I pull my dress off and I'm naked. He reaches down and roughly grabs me between the legs. I can feel his long, bony finger. Jesus, I'm not gonna... his thumb slides into the crack of my bottom and lifts me like a bowling ball. A six-pack. Like I was light as a feather. Jesus. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm sorry. I apologize. As she leaned one knee on the bed, light billowed out of her, and warmth and damp gusts as if from a garden after a rainstorm. She did not seem to be a woman, but something altogether stronger and sweeter. Jim felt strong and handsome and armed to the teeth. He felt like a barefoot runner, a wrestler, a charioteer. He felt his childhood receding from him, and he felt not the smallest regret. No more the poor fatherless orphan from him. He was an outlaw, and all the better for it. One thing I noticed in the test audio was some clipping and distortion. So I just wanted to double check right now that if by adjusting the volume, it cut down on that clipping and distortion. So I'm just gonna keep talking here for a second and let you hear if there is any clipping and distortion. So right now I have this set to, my voice is pretty high on this volume meter on the receiver and transmitter. But it's probably maybe 75% up. So am I clipping? Is it distorting? Am I clipping? Is it distorting? Just be mindful that you need to watch the volume to make sure that it's not blasted. Nothing really blinks red or anything to let you know that you're peaking. So it's kind of difficult to tell if you're gonna get any distortion in your audio or not. So for this test, we're gonna check out the distance where the Comica kind of loses range versus what the Rode loses range for. Okay, now I'm going to walk backwards and see how far of a range this thing has. Hopefully you can still hear me. Hopefully both microphones can still hear me. I don't know how much clothing rustle is being picked up. I don't have anything to kind of hide that, so hopefully it's minimal. I'm gonna keep walking here. I didn't walk this far on the first one. I just actually want to see where the microphones. The Comica pretty much started to cut out right away, maybe around 20 feet away from the receiver, and became pretty useless after about 30 feet. The Wireless Go, on the other hand, started to cut out around 50 feet and became useless around 60 feet. I found that the sound to the Comica had a lot more bass to it than the other two microphones. The Shotgun and the Rode Wireless Go just have a better natural sound to them. Now that's not to say the Comica sounds bad, it really doesn't. It's just that I prefer a more natural, more even sound. One of my biggest hesitations about using a microphone built specifically for a smartphone is that you're relying on your smartphone to record all of your audio and not a professional level audio recorder with built-in limiters, professional level preamps, and a user-friendly interface. There isn't an app built specifically for this brand of microphones, so I just found a random free one on the Play Store. Now I'm sure there are better apps available that open up more features like gain control and level monitoring, but the one I picked did not have any of those features. When I talked louder, there was some noticeable clipping and distortion that wasn't present in either of the other two microphones. There wasn't really any indication to suggest that I was peaking either, so that was kind of annoying. So you'll just have to be mindful that this microphone records hotter than others while setting your volume. You can adjust the volume of the microphone by adjusting the volume on the receiver. However, the monitoring doesn't feature any decibel levels and it just has a little volume bar for you to go off of. Now there is a little bracket at the top of that volume bar, and I think that this means that if you're hitting that area you are peaking, but in my opinion this isn't good enough. It would be nice if the receiver would blink red or something to give you an indication that you are peaking. Now this is not a bad product by any means. It is a very well built product that I'll keep in my bag in case I ever need it. I think that this would be a great step up for anyone that records video with their smartphone. Having an external microphone attached to your smartphone is going to allow you to capture much better audio than your smartphone is capable of. You always hear the saying audio is the most important aspect of your video, and I think that if you're a smartphone vlogger, you'll definitely want to use an external microphone because, let's be honest here, if you're vlogging outside in the wind, hearing that can be pretty brutal to listen to and can cause a lot of your audience to tune out. At $169, this microphone is kind of expensive. I would prefer if it were more competitively priced at maybe $119, but it's a really solid microphone that I would recommend to anyone that's looking to spruce up the audio quality on their smartphone videos. That's gonna do it for this week's episode of Gear Review. If you're interested in checking out any of the products discussed in this video, links are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Gear. She said nothing then, her lovely mouth otherwise engaged until he came. all over her face. She had gagged and moved him outside her lips, rubbing his spurting glands across her cheeks and chin. I don't know if I can do it. Whew.